Well, we have Sunset underway for MIBR versus Loud after MIBR took map number 1. But Mimi, we're excited to see Loud coming into Sunset after their performance versus 100 Thieves, no doubt.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like you were just on the analyst test making that same point, Wyatt.
Nope, not Wyatt.
Okay.
But try again.
Sorry. Ender? Yeah, okay,
Ender,
I got
that's
it.
one.
I got it.
All
But
right.
you're right, they were excellent on this map against 100 Thieves. I think it was something like a 13-2 to win that one out. The coordination between Kalenstein and Verdi looked on point there, and, well, MIBR on the other side, we get the Ospas Neon. That is a rarity. MIBR has only been playing jet maps or double duelists with that Raze Yoru for the most part. So getting to see Ospas back on that Neon that he was showcasing a little at the beginning of the year is going to be pretty exciting for me to see. The last time they played this map was, of course, still with that double duelist comp. So this is a change from that loss to Leviathan.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing how effective Ospas can be here, slotted in with less support behind him, perhaps. That's a little bit more himself on the Neon in terms of stunning him into angles, but Loud will be no slouches on the other side.
Yeah, this is like the one map in the pool where double smokes is not super prevalent. You could look at Ascent for that as well. So really interested to see what Artzin is going to have going on that Viper.
And a lot of times you'll see walls like this put down that make it really hard for the attacking side to actually fully take into backside, allow MIBR to get in very quickly. But a different look at the start of this round at the very least, with both teams a little bit more set towards getting mid-control early on, door closed.
MIBR looks like they want to fight through this smoke and at least cut off that area in front of their Viper wall.
Yeah, because MIBR have Artzin throw up that wall, can threaten stepping down, so that would isolate a player if they were to walk down into the bottom of tiles.
And it makes it rotates way faster. Doesn't matter when Verno's just taking heads in mid.
That is nice. Him and Ospas gonna slowly shy back from the lines, happy with the numbers advantage they've managed.
Smoke goes up to threaten to lurk back through towards B, but that's not to come. There's still 2 players holding onto the space. I say that.
Just a monster. Luxio, not a care in the world, steps in there. Now the rest of Loud are ready to pop out from behind this tripwire. Just gonna call back those 2 slower players into main before they move on in. Smoke comes down, and MIBR will be forced to play full retake. Paranoia
is the tool to win this round for MIBR. Ospas will be able to slide in, follow that one up, but this is a Loud that is looking to fight deeper, have that stun ready to go, maybe rip into CT once they hear noise.
That was the adjustment we saw with Loud towards the end of the half on Icebox. They wanted to start playing much more forward in the post plants here. They've got a fault line held out. But Kalenstein chooses not to go for it. MIBR have taken their sweet time to try and check mid, see if there's a lurk going down. Artzin just holding. But pretty soon, MIBR are gonna have to do something. I mean, surely it's gotta come. This fault line doesn't connect. The flash does force the turn, but it's a 1-for-1 at minimum. And now Loud have 1 player on every angle, closing around MIBR. The smoke protects the spike, but Luxio's made his way in, pops in like a silent assassin. And by the time he falls, it is too little, too late. Shenum can't do anything. Loud will take the pistol.
Loud really temper the aggression there. They wanted to rip that CT fight off at timing initially, but after not hearing anything except the Neon rotating, they bide their time. Instead, take that once they hear any noise, and thanks to it being only the Viper there, the second they get this kill, it is such an impossible crossfire to break between the player elbow, the player CT, and then that rewrap coming through as well.
Nice, Birdie. Come on, let's go.
That round kind of felt to me like it was just Luxio, you know, getting the pick top mid to equalize, getting that late walk through lane too. Nicely done from him. Start off with a couple of kills and out buying in pretty heavy this round.
A very different pace of play on the Cypher instead of that Omen, but Luxio's equally willing to take those risks on the Cypher as well.
3 players of MIBR hanging out by trash.
That's kind of mean.
It's a position on the map, Mimi. I'm not saying any more than that.
Brazilian fans, look into this.
Now this wall that was thrown down doesn't actually have a pocket for Ospas to play with in the corner. A lot of times you'll leave a slight gap there to be able to work with.
It might be just the forward post on A.
Verno on the jiggle. Caught on a bad timing, but he should be all right.
Oh, he's going for it.
Wow, just through the smoke. But this is, again, a Luxio with a Ghost in hand, but it does force Loud to accelerate into the stack. 3 players here, and that classic is doing damage. There's still 2 players in backside. Pancada and Kalanzine, brothers in arms, have to somehow get back in here. But it's now down to 30 seconds left. Kalanzine slips through the smoke. That'll be the first. But still, the support is a little bit slow, pulls away from the kill. And Osbos is taken down. So it's 2-on-2 now. Paranoia maybe a little bit early.
Spike planted.
As the spike is stuck through, but again, Verno catches a nice timing. And Pancada in a 1-on-2.
Phantom at his feet.
Early spam, switches over to the Phantom. Just trying to full bait it through, but he doesn't know if it's being stuck. At some point, he's going to run out of bullets. At some point, MIBR are going to swarm, and it's Shenum picking things up for map number 1 to take away this bonus round.
They did not have anything going into this round. Just the right call on the stack and a classic that gets way too much value.
I mean, it's too many classics that are getting value.
And when you're talking about the Viper and what it can bring to this map on defense, it means you have to find the right timing to execute, because there's going to be that same Viper Omen util cycle that we were referencing on map 1 coming back to haunt you. And fortunately for Loud, they pick a time when the wall's up and just cannot get through despite the better guns, despite the better armor.
Well, Luxo had the pistol on round 2, so he goes for a Hero Guardian. Was the difference maker back in round 1.
What's Osbos up to in mid? Throw up that wall early, let him walk
with
deep
the Guardian.
into mid.
Or with the Outlaw, rather. No wall early on, maybe as a retreat option.
Yeah, instead just letting him poke around here, see what he can find. Leaving that option to throw up the wall and fast rotate through mid to get back into A if the team desires it.
Yeah, Kalanzine, you'll often see breach players. The teams that still play breach on this map will get the breach down into tiles, just hold out that stun when your team is opening up heavier into A, in case there is a walk up onto the line to try and play off a one-way or anything like this. That horizontal fault line is completely unbeatable.
Well, it might come into play here.
Unless you're in front of it. And then it does absolutely nothing, and that's exactly where Shenum is. First kill goes his way, but Verno is still under fire. And Loud have actually made their way into the site. Now numbers for them, a couple of guns on the ground to be able to pick up. Only Osbos repositioning back onto the site. This location's been revealed by the dart.
No follow-up, though. He's fine to hold this line.
No pressure onto the spike planter, except maybe some early utility that doesn't quite catch Kalanzine. The snake bite. Artson didn't have enough muscle behind it, so it comes up just shy, and Luxo's Guardian, the sole gun that came into the round, continues to decimate MIBR. Cortezia now swung from every angle, left, right, high, low. And Osbos, who was first on the rotate, can't really do much unless there's just no way. A spam through smoke is back to back to back to back to back to back for their tees.
Well, there was only 2, so just back to back.
Oh, I counted too many? Okay.
Yeah. We'll look
There's
towards
a
this
chance,
round
though.
to keep building it. When you're having the convo for Rookie of the Year, a lot of the times, the players you look towards are the ones who performed at the end, the guys who won Americas or made it to a finals or popped off at global events. But in terms of the best Rookie of this year that will not see a game in
Oh, I
playoffs,
traded you quick there, Brian, didn't I? Quick trade.
I would argue that it has to be Luxo. Despite Loud's failures, he has been so excellent, and he was the one to win that round, but we're not slowing down.
Nope.
A chance for another eco with some hero weapons up.
Pancada all the way up in the front. The rest of the team a little bit slow to assist, but now they've arrived.
And a classic Loud round. Make noise with 4, let the lurk work.
Nice shot from Osbos. And now MIBR continuing forward. Nice paranoia as well. Pushes Kalanzine away. And Luxo in top mid. The player you highlighted is now facing exactly the wrong way. Shut away, and you know, Mimi, when I said back to back to back to back to back to back thrifties, I meant it. It is continuing for MIBR.
Again, slid into the aftershock.
Now the hero rifle gone, but the rest of MIBR have picked up more and more and more. What should have been a simple round for Loud, play for a main, pick up the Rolling Thunder, use that to exec into the site, now has once again Pancada and Kalanzine 2vx.
Could not do it last time. This time, better weapons. And an ultimate to work with. They'll walk up towards mid.
30
Kalanzine
seconds left.
He'll have a fight against Cortezia.
And now Verno's been called over as well.
Very disciplined. Now just Verno.
Oh, they've abandoned each other, though. The exact moment Cortezia falls away is when Loud move up into mid, and now they've gotten past these 8 players. 10 seconds left on the clock. Cortezia only with a Sheriff.
10 seconds left.
But all he needs is one true shot. Something to stop this spike from going down with his teammate getting the kill in spawn. That will be enough stall. And MIBR will take it. Not even the plant to add insult to injury.
Doesn't get counted, but it surely should have been another Thrifty. 2 hero guns was all that MIBR brought into that round, but they make it work. And when you look back at their icebox, they weren't normally actually pushing into reclears when they saw that first wave of refreshables. Instead, they were normally sitting back, waiting for that hit to come in. Here, they get much more proactive, fight ahead, while Loud is waiting for that next layer to come in. And it's another round with 2 guns.
Right, so we already know that Loud are going to win the round, Mimi. How do they do it?
Okay.
Walk me through this.
They're going to work their way into mid. They're going to get a lurk up there, going to pick onto the Cypher, and then be able to circumvent this Viper's pit, which is applying a lot of pressure in main.
Yeah, for a second I thought it was just going to be the util kill, but that would be maybe too flashy. Interesting that Loud want to play this round 4v5, 3v5. Something's telling me maybe they're not actually winning this round.
Don't speak too soon.
These top mid lurks is something that Loud have dipped into a whole lot. Previously it was Luke's show.
Okay, continue to speak too soon.
Uh-huh.
I won't sell any more lies.
No, I'm just not going to. We're just gonna let Kaunzine and Verdi walk into the angle. All of a sudden things are looking better for them. This is very curious.
Ospas is still just alone on this angle. He's gonna swing.
I'm just glad we finally had an honest round. You know, the team with the guns wins just like intended.
A flawless anti-eco. Round of applause for honesty in my Valorant game.
It had been evading us for a little while, but MIBR locking things up. Just kind of bullying on these slide off angles.
Yeah, I thought they were going to try and fight up through mid and get the pick there, but instead...
Bro, I'm farming first bloods, bro. This is honestly unbelievable.
No, I believe it. Verno takes a lot of opening engagements.
Yeah, he's super willing to take those swings. Reminds me a lot of Narrate on Sentinels. I think they're very similar players in the arc they've had of kind of not finding exactly the success they would have wanted in their first debut, and then coming into a new roster and actually managing to find higher level success. Obviously, the end of the year has not been that for MIBR. It was a strong start after picking up that American player onto a Brazilian roster.
Yeah, stage 2, a major disappointment for MIBR. We've kind of had this, like, even last year, right, in Americas, right, 100 Thieves win in stage 1, go to the global, come back, have this big fall from grace. Weren't able to move on after that.
The difference is this year we have 2 teams that have been consistent in G2 and Sen, who have continued to find success despite issues of their own.
But the thing is, MIBR were so consistent, even back in kickoff, you know, top 3.
And now you look back to your stage 2 power rankings and you feel silly for putting MIBR in 3rd, but everyone believed the bounce back would happen. What's crazy though is that there is still a chance they can make champs. If they win this game, they can go on points, and it could be a full circle redemption for Ospas and the boys.
Still not a lock for them if they win this game, but puts them in a much better position. Have to look at how all those playoff situations roll out.
They then become Lev's biggest cheerleaders, G2 and Sen as well.
Yeah, want G2 and Sen to be 1 and 2, and that makes things a whole lot simpler for them. Because of course, if G2 and Sen qualify as 1 and 2, that opens up 3 and 4 seeds to go on points instead of G2 and Sen stealing it away.
Loud this time takes some concern with mid. MIBR has been very aggressive in contesting this top mid angle. Loud hoping to get a pick there. But this time it's a bit more passive. MIBR stay back behind their utility.
Now, Loud really took their time before breaking the door. Now trying to deal with this tripwire, even using the fault line. But Loud aren't really moving off of that. It's a little bit disjointed, a little bit slow getting in, but they have the rolling thunder, and here is Verdi going on through. Great utility into the corner. Nice shots from him as well. As Loud get their way onto the site, even a blast kill into spawn, assisted by the leg tag out of Verdi.
With that info coming through, MIBR's positions are going to be revealed. rotates are far away. They're hoping to get some kind of early kill and then could make a go of this round, but if they don't find an opportunity, I think it's going to turn into a save.
The wrap from Pancata as well. No one really prepared for that.
Ooh, I love that TP.
And this just puts even more threat into MIBR, who already are showing their hand. They want to go for the save. They want to take that op that Osbos left back in spawn. But Pancata's in a great position to hunt. First player to clear would be Artson, and it's a little off. Fault line doesn't connect either. So it seems like there's enough layers of protection now for Osbos to be able to carry that off into the next.
Yeah, the guns will be saved for now.
It's the little wins for MIBR right now.
I like that set play from Loud. That reminds me of some of the stuff they were doing in the 100 Thieves game, and also showcasing the strength that they have, bringing the breach into play, having one of the best proactive power ults in the game. Just gets those 2 opening picks practically for free, and a combination with that Neon. Talked a lot about how most teams have moved away from that. There are very few, like your 2Gs of the world, that are still indexed into Neon Breach. When you play it right and the util's well coordinated, it is so hard to play against.
So after bursting into the B site through Market, this time Loud going to be geared up for B main control early on. Cortezia to put down a forward camera in the corner. That'll be the first piece of util Loud have to clear.
Deploying drone.
MIBR walk the op into mid, but he'll come quick to rotate towards B as this pressure starts to come through.
See how much Loud want to pop off of this. Luxio is still testing the space into A main. And right now it's a fishing expedition to break away some Cypher trips, and now an opportunity for Verdi to slip into backside. Dart connects, but this wall, he just disrespects entirely. He's made it in there, the rest of his team taking their time. But now Osbos on the other side, overdrive activated. Still seeking his mark. And the spike down bottom, trash is cleared by Cortezia. 1 for 1 to open it. Still no comfortable position in sight for Loud. That spike out in the open, but Pancata has an ultimate to recover. And it seems like that's what Loud will be playing for.
He's gonna recover the spike. But now they have 40 seconds to play with. If you're MIBR, the first thought in your head is that they're sprinting towards A. But now they have very early information. Look how far forward that Viper is.
Having this forward space means that Verno can play quickly to react towards B. Is he just gonna go for a timing? This guy is so aggressive and it pays off wonderfully. Only one may not be enough for him. That forces Shenum into a 1-on-3 with 15 seconds left on the clock. So much to do with a paranoia to push them back. And now creeping into the attacker's smoke. He is laid out. Artson can't stall this out long enough.
So a straight up 1v3 for him. He's been around the world on his rolls, now back to comfort on the controller. Trying to isolate a fight, Pancata. The only one who could give it, but his own Viper wall. Cuts Pancata off and maybe precludes him from a win in this round.
2 players tucked arm in main. Artson knows he has to look into it. It's a nice shot, but Pancata with the knife in the back.
I would have liked to see MIBR have Verno a bit more passive and be able to use that Hunter's Fury to rip as the execute was coming through once they figured out that that's where it was headed. Instead, they have a couple players trying to flood in. Well, Verno is still stuck behind that smoke, and Loud trade out well, have the ultimate to recover the spike, and handle things well when they're a man up.
Would have been a very different situation also if Verno had just managed to get more than the 1 kill. His timing was very good there.
Yeah.
Just couldn't quite adjust once that wall came down. There's 3 players on his screen. MIBR knocked him out of the picture.
Yeah, he only saw the 1 through the wall, so thought he could get greedy and keep going. And gets a nasty surprise.
So Loud have been mixing up the pace, whether it's the quicker looks through mid or the more reserved, fast into sight, freeze, reset into the round. How do MIBR play around this when it's not so readable what Loud are going to be doing round to round?
I'd like to see MIBR doing a little bit more with the start of these rounds. They've been very passive with how they're setting up Osbos. For the most part, he's been policing in mid and trying to post on an angle with an op. I think the op is limited what they can do with this comp. I'd like to see them instead using that Omen paranoia like you would play with the Breach and try and show us some trap plays into somewhere like A main or even earlier fights off the rip with that. I don't think we've seen a lot of the proactivity this Neon brings, and instead I feel like I've just been watching an Osbos Jet game with faster rotates.
Yeah, MIBR have leaned more into the passivity of playing double smokes plus the Sentinel, you know, being more reserved around that utility.
It is weird because this comp is kind of indexed half and half, and I think part of that is Osbos' agent pool. You'd probably rather see a Yoru with this comp, but Osbos doesn't really play that role.
Even the Neon for Osbos, not an everyday occurrence, as Loud just bust down that door. After the slower paced round, now they work into market, but still options to retreat after breaking the camera.
Verno has a great angle all the way back towards CT to rip his ult if his teammate C player is starting to come through.
Shenum is kind of the deal breaker for MIBR right now, with Loud moving back towards the A site. It is Shenum who's holding his one way. Pancata playing on top of that right now. Some spam down as well. This will push Shenum back deeper and deeper and make it harder for that early intel for MIBR to grab. Now, of course, they're going to see that Verdi is run on forward. There's a fault line. There's a Neon stun. But Loud don't really have any room on the map to play with.
Yeah, I don't think they can rotate back fast enough for this fake to really mean anything.
And Artson just throws up the wall to clear the close corner on the left. Now 4 players ready to pop into market where there's a duo hold from MIBR. 35 seconds left on the clock. Luke Show snuck into the B site, but he doesn't have an angle on anyone just yet. And now with this paranoia coming down, Loud have made their mark. Artson, the only one to hold the line. And now that Luke Show snuck into Boba as well, the rotates can't even come in to stall away the spike. A Hunter's Fury try and punish Luke Show on the retreat to punish MIBR from rotating in, as a matter of fact.
Shenum needs to clear the close corner. A 1v1 against Luke Show.
Might have found a timing. That's nice from him. A smoke goes down, a paranoia traded. But now MIBR choosing to play apart. Osbos and Shenum need to find their ones. But they're doing so slowly.
Osbos is still in CT. Finally starts to work his way out.
It's on Shenum here. And he rips Pancata's head off. Now Robbie with the dart to try and spam, but he's only got 11 bullets in the tank. Make that 8. This is being stuck through and he's got nothing left. Too many went into the floor. We're all tied up at 4.
MIBR win on the retake. But I think they're missing out some of the value on this Neon. You look at that round, and if you watch it back, consider where Osbos is pathing throughout. He starts towards A main in a trap play there. Then he's resetting and holding the mid cross. But while that's happening, and there's actually a smoke up in his face, his teammates see 3 or 4 players stuck in, pushing heavy towards market. And instead of rotating, he lets the other player rotate first. I'd like to see MIBR being more proactive in having Osbos be the first man to be running on these rotates, because that Neon being your quick response force is so potent, especially when he can bring that stun to bear to help catch players in the choke alongside that Viper util.
Yeah, when Neon's a first responder, she can be a whole lot more help to the rest of the team. See if that can be an adjustment.
That's why she has little blue lights on her head.
Yeah, okay.
Get out of the way.
There needs to be an alarm when Neon's running at you too, and then maybe you'd stand more of a chance. That's not enough for me.
That's a horrible
sound. When she
sound.
pops overdrive, I need the sirens activated. And we've got a tech pause.
Osbos not reclining. What happened to my goat?
This guy has really fallen off ever since his seat has gone vertical.
Well, it's not attack timeout, so he does that to like fully activate the brain. He doesn't need it in attack, and we're maybe getting back into games. Yeah.
Oh, that's why he came back up. See, I thought he was washed, but he's actually just locked so in.
We're on our Bren arc making statements about Osbos, let's say.
All right, well, things are all tied up.
Good on a safe fight. It's crazy it's taken this long to see one in a Neon mirror match.
See how forward MIBR play onto the line, because they don't have that paranoia super ready to go.
Where'd that dart go? Okay.
That dart went right there. And Osbos hits the floor. Verdi on the opener. There's nowhere really for Shenum to go. He barely slips away, and Verno's there to hold him out. Great work from the leader.
Spike down A.
And this has kept things even after a tough entry.
These MIBR players are very split up. Artson making his play.
That is crazy. Look how far away Corteja's on the map.
Where's Corteja heading? Breaks the trip on the flank, now runs back through mid. Luke Show is low, but Loud aren't giving an isolated fight. They are fully holding hands in elbow, ready to trade each other out.
With this plant, though, Cortez can tap and try and get in front of the angle. He knows Cypher, at the very least, is played towards elbow. But that dart hitting him, that's more time added to the clock. Now he moves on forward, 1 for him, but a nice response out of the rookie. Will bring Loud up to 5.
It's tough. Despite playing this Neon head-to-head where, in a lot of ways, you want to try and go for those forward fights, Loud just had such better tools to do so. You see that bounce start that lands late off the timing of the stun. His teammate is turning, so it's an isolated fight onto the Neon. And all of that in combination means it's just a simple hit into the site. And they're running it back. They're happy with how easy it was to take elbow control. This time, it sounds looks like it might be set up to path elsewhere, as there's going to be a very fast fight coming through once they show presence.
Shenum pushed up in mid, this B main push. Eliminated by Luke Show, now the one-on-one, Luke Show versus Shenum. That is, if Shenum doesn't manage to get out of here either way, Louder blitzing in towards the site. That's a bit all over the place, and Pancata here's the Omen, oh no! It's a catastrophe. Now Luke Show, head posted the wrong angle.
Look at where the bodies are on the map. Everyone's dying off on their own.
And somehow it's the Neon shift walking through mid. Now
That's
revealed
the
by a
expected
camera.
outcome.
I want to know what this looks like in a Valo plant is really the question.
Draw this round up.
A lot of arrows going all sorts of which way.
Spike planted.
This should surely be MIBR's time to tie it up. Birdie stuck in a corner with no help. And Cortez makes it quick.
This game has been neck and neck the whole way through. A far cry from Icebox, which felt a lot more swingy. You know, the first half for Loud was ultra dominant. But clearly for MIBR, the run everywhere strategy did not pay off.
Nice!
Okay, Cortez.
Did I say MIBR? I meant Loud.
Yeah, well, they were both kind of running around. I was going to let it slide.
For one of them, it worked.
Yeah,
That was
well,
for MIBR.
if you think about it, Loud was also made in Brazil. So you were just being descriptive.
Okay. 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 I appreciate the save. I think I'm still owned, though. MIBR used that early stun to get into A main.
Gotta go. Shortcut.
Fully sure where they go from here. I think Kawa picked up an orb in B main at the same time on the weak side. That means Cowan's not in a good position to get that horizontal stun line to dominate the A space, so instead it has to be the drone.
It is the Omen, though, so he gets pressured, runs away. Could have TP'd if he heard that Neon trundling up behind.
So often there is the Neon behind the Omen, or Verno with the Sova. They put a lot of pressure there.
Nothing in elbow. So MIBR start to think that, okay, the brunt of Loud is not actually towards A, and they set their attention on mid instead. 3 players in a crossfire towards top mid.
Ooh, the double swing. Ospas destroys the supporting staff of Loud. And now Shenum here on the offline. That's going to be 1, that's 2. And this round slips away from Loud in just a moment.
Same scenario as the previous, where it's Verdi left in an unwinnable clutch.
MIBR just had exactly the right position to punish Loud going for the fake.
Loud have seemed to really struggle in these rounds where their initial ideas exploded a bit and then get caught off guard by someone who has walked into space that they previously cleared without leaving someone there. There it was the player who repositioned towards elbow, picking off 2.
Yeah, Shenum finding the second kill there gave Loud no real options into the round. MIBR did very well to shut down this mid space, because Loud are trying to sell this fake with the Omen smoke on the right side of mid that, oh, they're going for this Boba split towards B. When in reality, that was just initiator utility, full faking it.
All game MIBR has been really willing to get aggressive in mid and disrespect that utility, fight up with their Viper wall. That's been very helpful for how they actually get to rotate around this map. Loud, though, they're going to put their own attention on mid in this round. So they're Neon up early. They're just ripping an ult here.
And Artson gets a kill even before the Rolling Thunder. The wall goes down.
The door's closed, too.
Because the Neon is killed, she can't get through the wall quickly enough. And now MIBR have 3 players already on back site. They've got 2 more on the way. Just one after another. They start to move on forward. Aspas comes on through with the overdrive, lines them up, and Louder holding their own. 3 kills as they lock themselves into the site. Shenham just holding the left side, wasn't anywhere close.
Where's the spacing for MIBR? Players swing through one at a time and get knocked down in quick succession. That should have been their round after getting that initial pick onto the Neon, shutting down the fast play into market.
Sure, and that's all well and good, but what you fail to recognize, Mimi, is that's stingers, pistols.
Yep.
It's a whole lot of nothing. Those are the rounds that we've tended to see teams win in this map so far.
Okay, but stingers at this range, you are, you know, just cooking. It's just a rifle.
Good job. Let's go.
Ignore whatever other gun it is. 6-6. Yet again, a close out.
6-6 once again. We'll see if this goes to a map 3 right after the break.
These two Brazilian teams are neck and neck as we head into the second half of Sunset. And my biggest question looking ahead here is, what is MIBR going to be cooking up with the Viper on this map? Not a lot of teams actually play double controller here, so I think a lot of the focus has to be on a very different pace than how other Neon comps are going to play. You're going to put a lot more of a presence in working on your lurks. Your post plants are going to be strong as well if you can hold on to that orb. So a bit of a different style to be on Showcase here.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see variations of this while you're seeing over towards A, which helps break up the crossfires to hold on to the A main space.
Yeah, and when you combine with that with the Neon, you can even threaten like fights into spawn and weird pathing that you don't really ever get on this map.
Yeah, and an attack orb like this to break the one way for free every round.
Kind of nullifies that normal Breach, Omen, Neon hold that's so almost impossible to break on A main.
Yeah, and even if you get up in it, there's options to quickly jump out of it. So a guy like Pancata can't be so comfortable to play right on the other side of it.
He's comfortable. He's chilling.
Not for very long, though. He gets his spam shots down, has to fall on back.
He's pretty far up.
Just playing for the pixel here for a headshot. Doesn't connect on it, so a teleport away to the back of site. And Cowan on the other side, only going to run into the one.
That was really early to activate that lurk for Artsin.
Yeah, so Cortesia has to do a little something here in market.
Yeah, he has a lot of space. There is a cam to be tapped if he's on site, but he has a gap to path back through spawn, and his teammates are providing a hell of a lot of pressure to let him work.
Monster timing caught by Cortesia.
They're tapping Spike, fighting into CT. It's all a fake. They're going to call back towards this lurk.
Yeah, but Cortesia doesn't want to go any further than this, because if he does, then you'd be expecting a Cypher lurk top mid right now.
How many can he get?
First one. Oh no!
Oh no! He doesn't hit a shot!
It's bad. It's just not what you want to see.
Oh, they're gonna lose the round 2.
And Ospas lands a couple of nice shots, but he's on 13 HP. There's nothing more you can do than that. Surely not. Not even the time to plant the spike if there were. 4 kills for Cowan on the round, and a round we all want to forget.
Yeah. Oof. That's about all I have to say. Okay, here's the replay. Avert your eyes.
Look at the movement out of Verdi. He just keeps running.
Movement, open parentheses, holding the A key.
Is the WA? Yeah, that's A. trying to orient myself there.
Me when I'm trying to learn the cardinal directions, never eat soggy waffles.
Yeah, except W8.
It's different. I don't actually know what that has to do.
A, no, it doesn't make any sense actually. Fight up into A main. MIBR getting a little disrespected even with this orb here. Kalensin just full stuck the ult orb while that was going down. And yet Osboss has secured a classic kill onto the opposing Neon. Is it time, Mimi?
Don't bring it up.
Dare we consider?
It's too soon to bring it up.
An attack one-way placed by Shenum on the left side here. Infinite smokes invested in A main from MIBR. Now a quick little slide will discourage Loud from...
Osboss is moving. He's all the way into CT.
Nope.
He's going to have a timing here on the Luke Show. Luke Show! He did not turn around in time.
Well, MIBR...
Artsin's made it through as well. What is going on?
Nothing makes any sense. MIBR sprinted through A, the spike, and two other players are going into
back
market.
mid.
By the way, Pancata still sipping on his boba back here, but it's only a 1-for-1 out of him. And dare I say it, Mimi? Dare I, with 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds left.
Robbie breaking the door down, droning in as a fight comes spawn. That could be too much. After Kalensin gets a 4K on the pistol, it's 3 for him to keep it competitive. 15 seconds now. Robbie BK on full, Shenum on 30.
10 seconds
Shenum
left.
would need the headshot. Would need to guess right on the angle to catch a nice timing. Being revealed, the pressure just amps up and up and up. He's spammed through the smoke. He won't even get a chance. Another clean round out of Loud.
Yeah, what an incredible anti-eco. And to top it all off, they get
and there's time. There's time. Okay.
Okay, yes. We were all in doubt. Thank you.
On the edge of my seat here. But honestly, with the crazy, first of all, classic kill Osmos has in main. And the timing he catches.
And there's what we were bringing up the halftime, right? The wall creates scenarios on this map that you do not see with any other comp, where you can just be sprinting all the way into CT, catch that timing onto Luke Xiao, and nearly win the round off of it. Despite winning that round, though, Loud are broke. They'll get a Hero Guardian on Robbie BK and Sheriffs for everyone else.
Not looking for that same challenge in A. Instead of the look will be a little high-low between Cow and Verdi. Those Sheriffs do a little bit of damage.
Look at the trips on A. Fully expecting someone to
One
try
by
and
one.
walk up or slide through on that angle.
Yeah.
You break the first one, Osboss goes for a slide, and you have the spam angle from where the Cypher's playing an elbow.
That, of course, would require Luke Xiao to go unpunished back here. Does have the camera to click into actually after he's taken the fight first.
Okay, we break trick number 1.
Osboss has a kill towards Shop. Things looking good for MIBR at the start here, especially now with Luke Xiao down on nothing, getting pushed around the back. And Osboss isn't done just yet. MIBR aggressive to a fault sometimes in these post plants, but when Osboss is turning flashes like that, lining up for 4 kills and having aces stolen. I mean, that was just shameless out of Artsin.
Osboss was reloading. He was full health. He would have had the ace 100%. He's stoic, though.
His eco ace. Man. What a
Artsin's
bummer.
actually optimizing, though. Osboss already had ult.
He already had ult.
No reason to be greedy.
That's 3. 1 enemy remaining.
In fact, dare I say, how dare Osboss be the one to get these kills?
Era ace, foi mal, velho.
There.
Understated. Full guns for both teams now. And that ult we were talking about earlier for Cow and Zine coming into force.
Early little teleport.
And a
from
little
Shenum.
dance too, threaten that this is something faster towards A.
Yeah, of course you can teleport up into that Viper smoke and fight through it with some supporting util.
Part of the thing though with that smoke is that the players who actually make contact are so much deeper that despite putting all that pressure, fault line, paranoia, none of it got ripped.
Some patience from Loud. As now again, this drone pattern has been fairly consistent when MIBR slowly work into mid to try and find where the trips are going to be. Peek up for that camera, often placed in window. Oh, they're sticking around.
Yeah, they seal Artson out. He'll have to go back through main. This is just going to be a split. How many does the drone see? Only Osbos.
But still with the option to threaten the cross from Market. Lucho is completely left alone. Almost drags it over for a second kill. It's Corteja. Angles forward. Robbie's there.
His team's still Market. Finally, they're going to make their play into sight.
There's
And now
not a
it's
lot of
Robbie
time.
who's a bit isolated.
Everything sort of on Osbos now to pinch down into Robbie. The Rolling Thunder just a little bit too late. Countered out on the other side. Everybody's stunned up, but it's Loud. They're up a man when all is said and done.
Spike planted.
Now doubled up into Market. Coming in for the swing.
Standing.
Looked close.
Pancata's finally here. He brings the paranoia. But Chanam's going to be able to try and isolate a fight. He wants to play close on this smoke and kill them as they come through.
Oh, I like his odds from back here, but Verdi on a little fadeaway. We'll take 3 and the round for Loud.
Just eviscerates the crosshair placement, and it's Loud pulling ahead by 2 now. MIBR, that was such a strange round where they show the little feign into A and then are completely walking through, getting set in mid, but or in Market rather. But the execution once they actually went in was definitely disjointed. The player front side is on, they're ripping that ult, but people are still kind of back towards Market, and it ends up being Loud getting a lot of opportunities despite the numbers of MIBR there to isolate these fights, and went out in spite of that.
Getting the reaction cam in real time.
Yeah, Front's not happy.
As the post plant falls to pieces. Few of them have sort of slipped away from MIBR in process of the hits, but it's honestly because I think Verno's calling into a lot of these scrappier rounds, you know? Whether it was that mad dash from the A site through top mid towards B, or a lot of the cuts in through Market. Verno isn't afraid to allow things to get a little bit crazy towards the end of the rounds.
But once it gets into those later rounds, if Loud can reset even or even favorably, they still have such good utility to navigate those late rounds, to hold on to a paranoia or a refresh stun or something like that to still make it work on those later retakes. Looking at MIBR now, they've continued to pressure these early showings towards A, just having the Neon over there or even full fighting into the space. So I'm interested to see if they continue that conditioning and look to maybe a little later rip a full hit onto that site. This won't be that round. Instead, attention is placed more so towards mid.
Verdi up in B main with a little trap setup. Paranoia off the camera for Verdi to swing off of and capitalize. But MIBR are not really changing too much post timeout. Drone goes in, although I guess 3 players aren't going into Market and closing the door behind him, but it means that trip hasn't been shattered.
Fight for B main? That'll shoo the Cypher away, but which way does MIBR want to go on this fight? 3 players ready to duel top mid.
I mean, there's just no way this goes well for MIBR unless they're finding spam kills to lead. It goes wonderfully. As soon as that crossfire is broken with Corteja left around in mid, this round just falls apart.
Loud in the first half put such a premium on, or rather MIBR on fighting into mid, on controlling that space constantly. Loud's left it open a lot more in this half. Fraud realizes that in the timeout and calls for a round like that.
That's just a good example of how you can have a great hold on paper, but the second the one critical member dies, right? This shot right here, the only guy holding on the left side, there were 2 on the right.
Yeah, it was a 3-player crossfire there.
And I think that's a mistake from Loud, right? The guy on the left shouldn't be the first one on the line.
Perfect.
You
Let's
know?
go. Keep it up. Like
He
this,
needs
like
to be
this.
one to respond.
You don't want to play the shallow angle like that to make contact. You want to force them to full commit by the time they make that first contact.
Yep.
So you're swinging into them when they can't just back away and run like you saw there.
A little mistake there, pushes Loud onto a low buy. As MIBR continue trying to show similar utility in mid. This time no drone activated though.
Loud's going for a walk in A main. Getting all the way down towards their one-way.
Ball line comes through, there's Verdi, but a stun right in front of him, so he can't go through the trip.
Yeah, the counter molly's great to cancel out this aggression. And now MIBR are just gonna let this Neon ult time out. Full freeze, let that ult disappear and disarm it.
It's just a total dud from Loud, ripping that play at the moment. Now a drone that spots just the Cypher towards B main. And Corrode trying to exaggerate the defense onto A, now with the Guardian. I mean, it's just not gonna happen. He's pushed back. It doesn't even matter if there's a paranoia. Ospas is still finding the tracers through the blind.
Cortez continues to get value on these mid-larks, both in this round and in the last. Has a 1v2, but he's good at isolating these fights, and he's gonna do so again. There's one, and the second looks easy for Cortezia to flawlessly win this anti-eco.
How often are MIBR getting up into shop and finding kills? It feels like MIBR have crushed the mid-holds round after round, and when they go into A, that forward shop fight is always going their way.
I think a lot of it is going back to Cortezia, who's been walking into mid every one of these rounds. I think we need to see Loud that it's willing to show
Got in front of a dart there too.
Yeah, it's really nice micro to show like a mid re-clear look.
Perfect. Boa, Cortez. Boa. Isso aí.
Send that second refresh of your initiator utility to push him out of that space with a smoke bottom mid. If you can deny that lurk, it makes it way harder for MIBR to do these split pushes they've liked through market or these deep fights.
Hunter's Fury from Robbie. Good on the first two tags. That'll be no Viper utility remaining in the round, and damage onto Vernu as well.
Kill and a half is great value for just ripping that off a dart.
I mean, 3 for 3, yeah. I'll say so.
Cage triggered.
Verdi, who was playing in the same spot in the previous round, never really was revealed.
And look at Ospas just poking his way into mid yet again.
He knows there's a huge gap here consistently. Knows there's no Cypher util to deal with him. And he's patient.
The drone is pulling players away. No one is looking at Ospas. He has found his gap.
Both Loud players over on this side of the map have slipped into the site,
They're
worried about
going
their
back
back.
to check now, and he's past them completely.
But maybe seeing Cortezia was too much, or did the drone top mid somehow tag him? It does certainly feel like Kawazine is fully aware of this. They're holding for it.
Did he see the edge of Ospas, or just a suspicion in the back of his head?
Seems
Either
like
way,
they must have. Now with 30 seconds left onto the
30
clock,
seconds
MIBR
left.
inching forward, hoping that one of these fights will eventually go their way. Cortezia to challenge and to find. And now the spam kill too. What is going on? Both teams playing with seemingly unlimited awareness.
and no smokes, no breach. This retake became a hell of a lot harder.
That's Luke Show laying down the neural theft information of 2 players elbow, 1 player back on slant. Cortezia under immense pressure and taken out of the round. Now Verno not finding the same success with his own Hunter's Fury, but will manage to kill at the end. Shenum too. But the spike is pulled away from, and Shenum takes 2 in the round for MIBR.
Another round where Loud have a crossfire set up that should be the win button in the round, but make a little mistake in who's taking contact. The breach is the one first up there, who's in a committed angle, where then the next player is having to actually swing really deep to try and get that trade. And in doing so, you miss out on that perfect timing of having all 3 players working in unison. And that setup just gets picked apart. I would have liked to see Kawabe further back, holding out a breach stun, instead to set up his 2 teammates on the same swing.
Some adjustments that Loud can maybe consider now. Trailing by 1, losing the last 4 out of 5 rounds, and now forced onto an eco.
Yeah, they are broke. They don't even have any power ults to work with. And they've just struggled to deal with this mid pressure that MIBR is putting every round. It's either the lurk for Cortezia or a fight through A. They've not been able to deal with that whatsoever.
That was the first time it seemed like they had, and I think it was because Ospas was, again, just seeing a shoulder with the drone that re-cleared mid.
But you saw how many resources they had to actually put into dealing with him. It's like 3 players all turning Operation Kill Ospas.
The point of discussion must be controlling the mid space, whether that's a full-on fight, whether that's just leaving some more Cypher trips around the space.
They're playing a Neon comp. I would like to see them just like rip something off the rip. If you're struggling so much to hold that space, show us a mid-fight round. Get someone posted forward. I think that's fine.
Call that the Beyblade, just let it rip.
That's so dumb.
Could be an effective strategy here on absolutely nothing but 4 Sheriffs and a Stinger. And,
well, they're letting it rip all right.
Yeah, just flying down B main. There is a tripwire in Verdi's face. So again, Verdi not going to be able to do anything, but the rest of Loud have crept down into bot mid. Robbie has managed the kill.
MIBR take A. They'll flip the map and fight CT as well.
It'll just be Kawazine towards CT at the present moment, but MIBR choosing to be a bit more reserved. Want to play behind their utility instead of getting in front.
That drone did not see Cortezia, but no one's heading this way. Instead, they all group CT.
Yeah, nothing really to be gained there. Keep your eyes on Verno. He's been full spotted out, wanted to get active up on the line towards shop. Same thing out of Artsen. I mean, MIBR are looking for a little bit much here. Birdie has 2 with the Stinger, and already some pressure onto the spike. These MIBR players stuck back into elbow. Are you joking?
Yeah, round's over. There's no one who can stop the defuse.
Yep. Another
Thrifty.
Is that 6 Thrifties this game? 7 Thrifties? I don't quite know.
Something like that. We're stacking them up. And it's the simplest of ideas. Send the Neon full force through B, turn some heads that way, as you, on a very slight delay, walk down mid. And then Stinger.
Yeah.
That's the second part of the strategy.
I mean, in MIBR and Loud's defense, they have not played a lot of anti-ecos in their stage so far.
That is the most backhanded way to say they're getting stomped every game.
It's just true. It's just true. Loud, honestly, Loud when they played on Sunset last versus 100 Thieves were crushing.
Ooh.
And now an ultimate all the way back on the left side of spawn from Shenum. I think that was heard though.
Yeah, Robbie knows. Does it matter?
It doesn't help him. Information is one thing. Capitalizing off it is another. So now 3 members of Loud recalled to deal with Shenum, and even they can't do it without going 1 for 1.
And for the small cost of losing 2 players to kill Shenum, you've also completely lost the A site and your smokes player.
Let's see if the post plan is better for MIBR this time around, if they even get to plant the spike, because Birdie's already in the thick of things. Now, a moment to breathe.
Spike planted.
Kalanzine realizing that his lurker is 1.5 miles away. Doesn't want to wait too long to get back in.
Luxio has to break a trip, so they know Cow is alone.
Cow already up in front, already trying to track against Verno, but it's not going to hold. Luke showing a 1-on-3, brought it down already. But look at where Ospas is playing back into spawn. I mean, good luck. Not a whole lot you can do. Cortezia already peeked the spike again, so Luke has to get back onto the spike. He's so worried, there's so many angles. And the second he makes his mind up, it's exactly the moment Ospas pounces on him.
This game feels so similar to game 1, where it's so back and forth for the first half, but it's MIBR starting to streak together rounds in the second. If only Blemish had eco round that they lost in the previous.
Nice. One enemy
And very nicely played. In the 2v1, Cortezia and Ospas continuing to perform together. 21 and 18 kills respectively. And that was the duo who was driving MIBR when they were the 3rd best team in the region.
Loud to battle back here, again on a low buy, but Birdie has an ultimate to work with. There's a stun line being held. Another one of these pesky Thrifties. Birdie into the thick of things, and Artsen mows them down. This round is cooked. Cortezia in mid will fall to the Soul Gun purchased. So Luxio keeps some options alive. Kalanzine in backside drops. And now a Viper's Pit to lock things up, keep tabs on shop as probably BK on 0 HP creeps straight into it and is promptly taken out of the picture. MIBR on series point.
Could have been something there, but the player who's holding for contact
Artsen
is in a position where when they see an enemy player, because they've contacted up so deep, there's going to be 1-2 players who don't actually get hit by that. And that Neon is most vulnerable when she's pulling out the finger guns and getting ready to rip. So huge credit to Artsen. Keeps that round in secure hands, and now around the way from the win here.
Potentially Loud's last round on the big stage here in Los Angeles this year. Going back into a similar look for the A main control once this orb goes down. A disappointing stage for them, but not down and out just yet.
The story of the stage has been close games, win a map, a 13-11 loss. Could be looking down at another one here.
Maybe getting lost in the thick of things as Ospas has worked his way all the way up into Boba. Robbie BK stabs him in the back and gets 2 kills. The new addition to Loud in stage 2. Coming over after not having an opportunity post kickoff in Europe. Now boxed up With MIBR approaching from every angle, he's again found a moment to pounce 4 kills.
Spike
Proud of the
down
leader.
B.
I have
That spike out in the open, Cortez recovers it.
One hiding.
Flank coming through main. It's the rookie in a 1-on-3.
Utility up in his face. The flank around the corner and a slide. He's done well to bring it close, but 5 bullets in the chamber. That won't be enough.
One
to do it all, to wrap things up here.
30 seconds left.
Has to be patient, and he is. 25 seconds now.
And the door's open. He can run to A.
He's out. He's slipped through the crack, and he's holding for it. Cortez says no. This ends here. MIBR take it off the back of the rookie.
And as he gets lifted to his feet by Artson, it is a bookend on the year. They started so strong, led by this young phenom coming out of Brazil. And he ends their regular season. Wins them that critical point to retake a game here, to pick up that crucial second win.
Cortez with the Red Bull clutch, and we can see him walk off into the darkness of the stage. For both of these teams that played today, this was their last game in Americas of the year. The year wrapped for Loud, but MIBR still a chance with an extra win on championship points to eventually qualify down the line, depending on the outcome of playoffs.
This was a very tough year for Brazil. The lowest performance from the region that we have seen in America's history.